They said he'd be the next Federer. What actually happened will shock you. When expectations wear a headband. In tennis, the words "the next Federer" are not handed out lightly. They're whispered by scouts, slapped on magazine covers, and echoed by commentators who've seen thousands of forehands, but only one Federer. So when a teenage prodigy bursts onto the scene, fluid one-handed backhand, impeccable footwork, even the swoopy hair, fans don't just clap, they dream. They expect magic. They expect elegance. They expect domination. And in the early 2010s, one young man wore that crown of hype, Grigor Dimitrov. Nicknamed Baby Fed, Dimitrov had the game, the look, the charm, and the crushing burden of becoming tennis royalty. But what happened next wasn't quite a fairy tale. In fact, what actually unfolded might just shock you. Let's count down the top 10 twists in the tale of the man who was supposed to become Roger Federer 2.0, but ended up walking a very different path. 10. The arrival. He played like Fed, moved like Fed, even smiled like Fed. Grigor Dimitrov turned pro in 2008 with a game so eerily Federer-esque, people were calling him Roger Jr. before he hit his first ATP final. Fluid one-handed backhand? Check. Effortless timing? Check. Stylish shot-making with flair? Double check. He won the Wimbledon Juniors in 2008, then added the US Open boys title that same year. By 2010, whispers turned to roars. He's not just the next big thing, he's the next Federer. Big shoes? Try clown-sized. 9. The hype machine went nuclear. Every major outlet, ESPN, Tennis Channel, even fashion brands were ready to turn Dimitrov into the Federer sequel. He had Nike deals, Wilson rackets, press tours, sponsors lined up faster than Novak Djokovic at a vegan buffet. Some fans even joked that Federer might sue for identity theft. He was charming, good-looking, and fluent in multiple languages. Tennis had found its next poster boy. But hype, as we know, is a double-edged sword, and for Grigor, it started slicing early. 8. The results didn't quite match the buzz. Here's where things started wobbling. For a guy branded the next Federer, it took him 5 years to reach his first Grand Slam semifinal, Wimbledon 2014. He beat Andy Murray on center court. Federer comparisons peaked again. Then he lost to Novak Djokovic in 4 sets. Okay, fair, no shame there. But then came the inconsistency. For every big win, there was an early round flop. One week he's beating top 5 players, the next he's losing to a qualifier ranked 178th. Dimitrov became the human plot twist. You never knew what was coming next. 7. The women, the fame, the distractions. Let's just say Grigor had game on and off the court. He dated Maria Sharapova for nearly 2 years, and before that, he was romantically linked to Serena Williams. Yes, that's Serena. Tennis fans were equal parts amazed and confused. Is he trying to be Federer or James Bond? In reality, the off-court attention added pressure. Paparazzi, gossip headlines, tabloid drama. Suddenly, tennis wasn't the only thing he had to win. And while Federer famously avoided controversy, Grigor had to learn that fame is a full-time job.
6. The shadow of Federer became a curse. At first, being compared to Federer was flattering, but by 2016, it had turned into a burden. "You know, I just want to be me," Grigor once told a reporter. "I'm not Federer, I'm Dimitrov." Fans weren't ready to hear that. They wanted Federer 2.0. But Grigor, he just wanted to figure out how to win without being someone else. The expectations morphed from fuel to anchor. He wasn't losing matches, he was disappointing destiny. And that messes with your head. 5. The 2017 resurgence, aka the tease. Then came the magic. In 2017, Dimitrov put together the best year of his career. Won Cincinnati Masters, reached Australian Open semis, won the ATP Finals, defeating Goffin and Sock. He finished the year ranked world number 3. Federer 2.0? Not quite, but Grigor 1.0 was finally showing up. Tennis fans went wild. The baby had grown up. The hype seemed justified. Until 4. The post-2017 fade. What goes up must, well, you know. 2018 came. Dimitrov struggled again. He lost early in slams, couldn't defend his titles, confidence dipped. Coaching changes came and went like revolving doors. From world number 3, he dropped outside the top 20, then top 50. Suddenly, commentators stopped saying next Federer. They started saying things like, former world number 3 Grigor Dimitrov is still trying to recapture his 2017 magic. Oof. 3. The back injury, the crisis, the breakdown. By 2019, Grigor faced a full-blown physical and mental wall. A lingering back injury threw his season off track. Matches slipped away, rankings plunged. Self-belief eroded. In one emotional press conference, he admitted, "There were moments I couldn't lift my arm. I couldn't even sleep from the pain." He considered retirement. Let that sink in. The next Federer nearly quit tennis at 28, not from lack of love, but from sheer exhaustion. 2. The reinvention. Grigor finds his own rhythm. But then, something beautiful happened. Grigor stopped chasing Federer's shadow. He started chasing joy. He simplified his game, took on new coaches, focused on health. Slowly, he clawed his way back into relevance. In 2019, he shocked the US Open by defeating Roger Federer himself in the quarterfinals. The irony? Delicious. The man once crowned Baby Fed beat the actual Fed. Grigor said, "It felt like beating a childhood hero, but more importantly, it felt like beating my own past." 1. Today, not Federer, just Grigor, and that's enough. As of 2025, Grigor Dimitrov may not have reached Federer's iconic status. No 20 Grand Slams, no GOAT debates, no multi-billion-dollar legacy. But what he does have is arguably just as rare: peace with his journey. He's beloved by fans, admired by peers, and still a threat on any surface. He smiles more, competes freer, and plays like someone who finally stopped auditioning for someone else's movie. He may not be the next Federer, but he's the only Grigor Dimitrov, and that's a role no one else could play. The beauty of being almost great. So what actually happened to the guy they called Baby Fed? He grew up. He stumbled. He rose, fell, and rose again, not into legend, but into authenticity. And maybe that's the real story here. Not everyone is meant to become the GOAT. Some are meant to be the flawed, human, fiercely determined reminders that the journey matters more than the crown. So next time someone says, "He's the next Federer," just smile and say, "That didn't work out too well for Grigor, and that's okay." Click the link in the description to explore supplements designed to enhance your performance. And also be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more exclusive and engaging content. Like this story? Drop a comment below. Subscribe for more tennis tales, and remember, some stories don't need a perfect ending to be perfectly unforgettable.